This is Rahul Moveon, the greatest performer the world has ever seen. And he's my father, my counselor, my best friend. Okay, so whenever I have issues, I talk to him and I gain some knowledge. And there are a lot of points that I have made from my own life. So today I'm discussing about how to deal with your girlfriend when she suddenly moves back in a relationship. Suddenly moves back for no reason, for very small reasons, or suddenly everything is going fine. Suddenly she doesn't respond to your calls, respond to your messages. Okay, what is the reason behind it? Okay, there can be a lot of reasons. Okay, but we expecting that it's nothing that her father has found that we both have any relationship, and and he has told her to not meet us, not to respond us or something. These things we will not take into considerations, because but in this case we just think because she purposefully set herself back in the relationship. She's on the back foot in the relationship. Okay, at that time, how to deal with that pressure, how to deal with that situation. All right, I have seen a lot of people go haywire because of that, and lot of guys going through hell because of that. Okay, so I will first start with the point. Okay, and the first point is, don't blame yourself for little mistakes. All right. So when a woman walks out of a relationship, okay, if you have made a grave mistake like insulting her in front of public or being physically violent, we don't need to. If we have done that, then we have to apologize and do all these things, because we have to unconditionally apologize, because that's something wrong that we did, right? We cannot insult. We don't have a right to insult anybody, especially we should not insult somebody who is who is with us actually. And if that relationship is true, we don't need to do that at all. But we have to be more patient. Love has more patience actually, right? Not violence. So if that's the case, you should apologize. But if it's not your problem, small mistakes like not responding in a particular time, or suddenly, for no grave mistake, not a big mistake at all, just because small words here and there, she's trying to fight a reason, she's just trying to find a reason. All right, she moves back because she's trying to test your mental capacity, emotional strength. All right, so so that so at that time you should not think about what mistakes you did. You should think about it, but if you have not made a very big mistake, don't blame yourself, because if you blame, half the battle is lost there itself. Okay, so the test that women do usually to find out if their partner is emotionally strong or not, because everything is going fine, suddenly she does it, that's also wrong to some extent. Okay, but they are built that way. We should understand that they're built that way. They're created by God that way. So similarly, like boys are created wherein when they look at beauty of a woman, they are attracted, right? Boys are created that way. Similarly, women are created like this. So we should understand. I'm going to also create a video about how the woman should deal with certain things as well later on. But at present, I'm talking about the breakups, doing some small issues in the relationship, or for no relations or no reasons, they're trying to move back. And at that time, the first and the most important thing you should do is, you should not blame yourself for small mistakes, because mistakes will happen in life. In future also, if it happens, there's no point saying sorry. There's no point blaming yourself, because error is human, and the error will happen. And the person who cannot take the small errors and trying to move away from relationship, there's no point investing your time in that. It's a waste, right? So Achananda, what do you have to say about it, Achal? Say how do not blame yourself for little mistakes.
Yeah, you do not want to get curtailed or disgruntled about all these relationship matters.
Mm-hmm.
Small things definitely happens, and forgiveness is the criteria more important than anything else in a relationship, in a real relationship.
Okay, fine. So that's what the first point is. The most important thing is don't blame yourself, because if you blame yourself, men are physically stronger but women are emotionally stronger. Testing is wrong in this case, okay, because everything is going fine. She's trying to find a best person for herself, and at that time you can go through hell, but she's not worried about it, but she's just taking care of she's just thinking about herself by making sure whether you are perfect for her or not for all works of life. And she's some way she's right as well, okay. But the men usually go, their life, they don't think about themselves. They think about, you, what did I do at that time? I didn't reply at the correct time, man. At that time I should have asked her on the spot itself to go out, or but because that day she was ready to go out, and at that time I was thinking about my mother. So these kind of blames you should not think about it, because you are supposed to think about your mother, right? You should have your priorities. You should understand, girlfriend, there's no contract. If she's your girlfriend, there's no contract. She can leave you anytime you want. Even it's up to you as well. If you find she's not fit, you can leave her anytime you want. Okay, but with giving reasons, that will be perfect. Without giving also reason also, she can go, but that will be rude from her thought process. If you are giving without giving reasons, you also leave her, then that will be rude from your thought process as well. You are wrong there. So everything should be proper. Okay, then I will go for the next point here.
Okay.
Do you have to say something, Papa?
In a true love relationship, it is a sojourn of life. There will be love as well as quarrels. Little bit quarrels are also okay, because that give you more thrust to the real love which has to come out from both the persons. So never to get perturbed or disgruntled or take any drastic decisions on a first count.
Okay.
First of all.
Go to the next point here. Thank you.
The second point is do not confess.
Second wrong thing that you do is that you confess. Okay, you become emotional. Usually guys become emotional because guys doesn't know that suddenly everything was going fine. Why did she move back? Why did she pull herself back? And whatever you're doing, she's acting differently. That's not your fault. And if you analyze because of small faults, like you didn't say bye, you didn't say hi to her, and this kind of things, because of that she's doing, then you don't need to do it. You don't need to say sorry, or you should not confess that, you don't need to feel bad. Because the people who go away from you has never been yours. You should remember that. See, the most important person in the world is you. The only person who going to stand by you from starting till the death is you. Okay, and the rest relationship, even your parents, including your parents, are just a passenger, travelers along with you. You should be emotional. You should love them. Otherwise, without emotions and love, your life is like, it's grey. It doesn't have any meaning. But
Blank.
It's blank. Exactly, Papa. Thank you. So what you should do is, see, whoever left you, and at that time the most important thing, you should not confess, stating that you used to call me every day. You used to call me every day twice. You used to call me, or you used to message me every day, every hour, every minute as well. But at night you used to talk for about 2 to 3 till 1 o'clock or 1:30. But now you're not doing it. Have you got a boyfriend? These kind of things. Don't show your insecurities. Don't show your insecurities. Don't say that you are the best woman in the world that I have met. I still remember the first day we met. It's still like awesome. That day you were wearing a churidar and all this bullshit. At that time, it's not bullshit, but at that time you should not say that. At that time, if you say it, see, unfortunately, love also nowadays has to use has some intellectual elements to it, especially because the human beings are more nowadays in contact with the materialistic world, wherein phone, okay, other equipments like TV, going outside. So human to human touch is very less. So even if you think that you know that person a lot, you might not know her or him. So always stay on your toes that she will leave you any minute or he will leave you any minute. But no, nothing is going to happen to your life. You know what to do. See, go for your goals, man. Go for your goals. and don't confess that, you see, you made my life superb, that it's only been about 3 or 4 months that you called me, started calling me, or even I have been in touch with you. You have made my life heaven and all this stuff. It's so beautiful. How can a beautiful woman like you talk to a guy like me? And these kind of things, don't put yourself down. Okay, you are the emperor. You are the king of the world. Everything in the world is at your disposal. Just imagine that. Because see, it's all in the mind. I have seen. You might be thinking, how can love, be achieved through intelligence? Unfortunately, right now that's the case. If you be emotional, you will be an emotional fool, and you will not see. You will hurt yourself. In cinema, you might see, Kasauti Zindagi Ke, and all this serials will say, see, if you don't get a girl, he's like drinking. After 10 years also, 10 years later, he's still drunk. After 15 years later, he's having a child from someone, but still thinking about that woman. These kind of things is not life. So the most important person to you is you. Just important. Just imagine she's a girlfriend. Limit her. Give her importance, of course. But you should understand that you don't have any say on her life. Even if she's your wife, you don't have any say on your life, because divorce nowadays are happening on a larger scale, because the adjustment levels have come down, because the priorities of the people are different. Alright, you should understand one thing. The most important thing is, don't confess. Don't say that how can a guy like me or a girl like me get a girl like you, a guy like you. You're so awesome and all. You are the best. You're the greatest performer, and I am the greatest performer. You can check for different tagline. Anything else that you want to?
In a perfect love affairs, mutual trust and respect to each other is most important. Having the trust, which is not going to happen over a day or over a month or over a year. It is gradually happening, and over that this thing, you first of all, both the parties should have mutual understanding, mutual feelings, and then only a mutual or perfect love relationship could bloom. Till such time, it is nothing but filmy, or doesn't have any great importance or anything. Nowadays, life itself is a natak. Most of the drama. So people will do more roles like that, and finally get away by making fool of boys.
Or even girls as well.
Yeah. The real fact is that girls always think 8 times faster than a boy.
Boys is masculine.
And boys is concentrating only in love. That is, the love maybe physical attraction, or maybe some of other reasons. But a girl thinks always takes priority of her security.
Yeah.
Okay. So then
you should take security. So you also take care of your security.
Yeah. So there is a lot of constraint. But in a boy's case, mostly it is all happening of physical attraction. Okay. So one has to be very careful. A true love relationship only bloom after having a period of time, and it should be it should be what I call it takes little bit of time.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, during this time, don't apologize for small issues. Okay.
This is one of the main mistakes that we do when girl moves back. We start apologizing for small reasons, which might happen again from our side. That's the most wrong thing that you're doing. You're devaluing yourself for small reasons if you're apologizing, because these things might happen again. You're not thinking like that. So you are so emotionally dependent on her, right? That even if you don't feel that you're 100% wrong, you still apologize. If you feel that you have done small errors and you will do it again, you still apologize, which means that if these things happen again, she might act like she has the right to act like that. She has a right to act like that at that time as well, and this will affect the long-term relationship as well. So you should give the benefit of the doubt not to her also. You should give the benefit of the doubt to yourself as well, right? So benefit of the doubt is a very good thing. You're giving it to others. Why don't you give it to yourself? The most important thing is that, and it's quite similar to don't blame yourself for little mistakes. Similar to that, don't apologize for small mistakes. All right, if you apologize, she thinks that, what he's not the same guy that I liked. He's totally dependent on me. My God, am I something more important? Do he deserve me? She thinks like that, but you are doing it because you love her. You have invested so much time on her, and you want her back in life so that life can be back on track again. But she thinks the otherwise, and she will repel again. She'll repel from me even more. अरे अब मैं इसको इंसल्ट करके भी बच सकती हूँ. So don't give that. Nobody has the right to insult you. At least a humanitarian treatment is very important. Humanitarian treatment, if somebody doesn't give you love, तो दूर की बात है, love तो होगा ही नहीं. तो as I told you, the most important person for you is you. Humanitarian treatment is a must. And if we start treat you like dog or some animals, even animals deserve respect, right? Everybody in the world, everything in the world needs to be respected. So nobody can treat you like dogs or like stones. All right. So Achani Miranda, do not apologize for small mistakes.
Apology for small mistakes and all reasons and all that is very unequally not at all required, or it doesn't have any meaning also. Those who commit hard mistakes, very criminal actions and all that, in such cases few instances an apology would be needed, but that doesn't deprive you from anything. By showing gratitude and showing love and affection to your loved ones, that is and wife and children, it is highly mandatory. It should not be deliberate attempt to criminal activities or anything. Whenever such happens, one or two occasions, a apology to the loved ones is highly necessary, but one should be very careful not to repeat it again and again.
Okay, what he meant, he went to sometimes apologies is good, but if you are apologizing for small mistake, like you sneezed, and you said that one day when she was calling, you were in your bathroom because you took some her call in the bathroom because she is very important to you, right? So even at that uncomfortable juncture, you took the call. Okay, and her face changed, her thought process changed about you. Because of these things, you don't need to say, you don't need to say sorry or apologize for this kind of reasons. Big reasons, right? Of course you will apologize. Of course you will apologize, right? Because she's important to you. Small reasons, like I gave you a lot of examples. So you should not at that time not go for apologies, because that will reduce your value in front of her, and if she reduces your value in front of her, she will start disrespecting you, and the whole experience that you had, the whole good experience that you had previously with her will go off, because you're not children. We are not children, right? Because in children, what happens when you're children, even if you fight, okay, you call your father, he or she will call their father, their fathers will fight, but children will later on play with each other because they are innocent. But when we grow adults, we tend to think, no, last time she did like this, right? Last time he did like this, so I have to be on my guard. So anyway, it's taking a lot of time. So we should not apologize for small reason, period. Because I have understood, by apologizing, you're letting your value down. Your value is down. She has a lot of options. Why to give her a lot of that much higgity?
Do not give gifts. Fourth point.
The next point is that during this time, to convince her or to try to make her change mind, you send her gifts like roses or some other presents, chocolates or whatever. This will definitely do a totally opposite. It will lead to opposite effect actually, because she is totally under pressure right now to check. She's testing you, right? She's testing you because she believes she has some kind of insecurities with you. Okay, so what you do is that at the time when you give gifts, okay, what she believes is, if you think from her viewpoint, if you're trying to stay away from her, from him or her, and suddenly somebody gives gifts you, it's just like giving a bribe to her or him, right? She'll feel that, "Arey, why right now I'm trying to repel from her. You repel from me. He's trying to give me gift. He's trying to buy me through this gift. He's trying to bribe me." So what will happen is she'll feel pressurized, and that's the last thing that you want to make her feel. Should not be pressurized. She should be liberated when she is with you, right? So don't give gifts. Achal nahi maranda. Gifts se kodukale.
No, it's okay.
That's all right. No other point to add. Okay, thank you. I'll go for the next point there.
Fifth point, love your family members who loves you even more.
Yeah, love your family members who loves you. See, we take them for granted. Okay, they are always with us, so we take them for granted. Okay, they will never leave us. We know that. Okay, but we'll realize that we realize the true value of your family members when somebody cheats you, because they have their own family. They don't. We believed that she was ours, or we believed that guy was ours, but she's now giving priority to someone else. She can live with it, and she's like happy doing that. She's smiling that she cheated you and all. If that's the thought process, you always at that time what are the mindset that you'll get? You'll get angry when somebody cheats you. Nobody likes to be cheated, right? So you'll get angry, you'll be jealous. Okay, you'll try to conspire against her, you'll try to backstab. Believe me, this might destroy her life, but this will destroy your life too. Okay, what is a positive effect? What is a positive thing that you can do? She cheated you, she was not your family, right? And before meeting her, you have lived a great life as well because of your family members, and you've taken them for granted. Just imagine that you cheated your family by taking them for granted. That is the reason she cheated you. God has made you realize the importance of your family members. How to redirect the venom that you get from somebody else. You can give it back to somebody disrespect you. You have all the right to give it back to her through verbally. Okay, if she verbally insults you, or he verbally insults you, you have all the right to give it back to her verbally. Physically, then you have the right to give it back physically as well. But stay within the limits wherein you don't destroy yourself and her as well. What you can do is, she cheated you, right? You have all the venom, hatred, jealousy and all. You can convert it to love. When you love your family members whom you've taken them for granted, your parents, your mother, you'll realize, at that time when she was coming to us, she was selling to us, she was giving you milk, and you push the glass out of the table. Or one day when she was not feeling well, she didn't make good food, tasty food for you, shouting at her. You cannot do all those things to your girlfriends or your wife, right? And she was your mom and your family members, your father listen to you because to some extent when you grow old, because they believe they want to do something, and they will give you options and all. They listen to you just because they understand you have some this hatred, and you have emotions right now. You're emotionally burnt out, so they don't want to take advantage of it. They will make you more stronger. So if you love them, and see the love that you had, give them 200 times. I'll give to you in more appropriate terms. They loved you. Their love is constant, right? They didn't. You took them for granted. So what is the punishment that you got? You got cheated from a woman, and what you'll do? You'll give them 200% of that love. That's how you can change a negative mindset to a positive mindset. That's how you can change a negative outcome to a positive outcome. Alright, so love your family members because they are with you during your bad times, your good times, and the family members who are there with you during your bad times, good times, you have to उनको सर पे चढ़ा के रखना चाहिए एक्चुअली. लेकिन उतना भी नहीं, लेकिन खुद को सबसे ज़्यादा प्यार करो, लेकिन उनकी वजह से तुम खुश हो, तो उनको अपने से प्रायोरिटी तब देना जब तुम लोनली होने वाले हो. तभी तो जान भी देखिए भी उनकी रक्षा करो, लेकिन बिकॉज यू आर स्केर्ड ऑफ लोनलीनेस. बट प्रायोरिटी खुद को ही दो, लेकिन उनको बहुत प्यार करो, प्यार डबल करो यार. प्यार कितना कर सकते हैं करो. जो लड़की को करा था उससे कहीं ज्यादा इनको करो, तो दे विल डेफिनेटली फील इट यार. आई हैव सीन इट that then you will move on faster. And that's my next point, move on, right? So
develop yourself morally, mentally and physically.
it's the first part of move on, that is develop yourself mentally, physically and morally. Love yourself, as I told you properly. Ant hi arambh hai, which means the end is the starting, right? So you just believe that that's a new birth, okay. When she left you, this is after the breakup, which is usually doesn't happen, but if it happens, you have to be confident enough to take it. You understood that person. What she lost is a person who loves her, but you lost a person who didn't. You lost a person who didn't love you. So you're in a better position, in fact. And giving love is always strength. Yeah, it's not weakness. It's not addiction. See, if you're addicted to drugs, you want it continuously. You want it continuously. Just like that, love is never an addiction. Wherever she lives, she let her live happily. Wherever you live, you will definitely live happily, because the most important person for you is you, and you love yourself the most in the world. So that contract will stay there with you forever. It's there in your brain. All right. So develop yourself mentally, physically and morally. You can go for creative things. You can develop new skills, like if you want to go develop want to have a great body, you can go to gym, or you can learn some martial arts. You can learn drawing. You can create certain things like scientific, by using scientific techniques, science. You can create something which will make you proud of yourself. All right. Try to develop yourself mentally, physically and morally, so that you become more stronger, and you're doing this as a vengeance, where the vengeance is changed from has improved you, not deproved you, right? So it will only make you better, okay, and make that woman realize that she did the wrong thing of moving away from you. But if she doesn't realize also, she might have got a better guy than you. But just imagine, at that time you should think that she moved on, she got a better person than you. Doesn't mean better person that she might be more, that guy might be more rich, more successful, but that doesn't mean she's still happy. Nobody is happy. No, happiness is something that is really in the mind, okay. So if you channelize your mind properly, you will be happy. All right. And you should be happy that you got off a hook from a woman who was not loving you much, and you have a chance to get far more better woman in life, right? So she will think, why she might think, or she might not think, but you should think that you improved yourself. Acha, develop yourself mentally, physically and morally during this time.
Okay, all sane persons love their family very much, and
that's the previous point. Yeah, even that develop yourself mentally, more physically.
So mental strength, to develop mental strength is most important. Keep it all your thoughts and all that. You have to very much in tangible this thing with you. You have to love yourself first. Then only you can extend love to others also.
How sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
It's simple. Just move on in life, guys. Just move on.
Point is, move on with another woman. Yeah, of course. Yeah, move on is a starting phase, and it's the start of the end phase as well, right? It's just like the second part of the move on procedure, right? Move on with another woman. Okay, you have a lot of dating sites in India: Tinder, Truly Madly, Happen, Woo, Hinge, OkCupid, Coffee Meets Bagel, Ale, Chat Avenue, Tiny Chat, Faceflow, Omegle, Chat Room, Random, etc. There are a lot of dating sites. We can definitely meet new woman who's emotional compatibility, the sexual compatibility, the intellectual compatibility, the personal compatibility will be far better than the previous woman. All right, and the past is past. Past is a cancelled check. There's no point crying over the spilled milk. All right, so always look for more and more alternatives, or always look for more and more alternatives. Like in love, there's no alternatives, but we should understand that you cannot be emotionally weak by any stretch of imagination. If you be emotionally weak, you're letting yourself down, and that's the worst thing in the world that you're doing. That's the worst thing. Forget everybody. You cannot let yourself down. If you let yourself down, the whole world is bad. Alright? You will not live your life happily. Just by breathing, you're not living a this life is so beautiful. Alright? Just by breathing, you're not actually alive. When you have that confidence, when you have that attitude, when you have that strength to take on the hits, emotional hits, physical hits, that's why you're strong. All right. So just think about this. Moving on with another woman, it's always a possibility. It's not that there's always a chance that when you move on with another woman, the previous woman might get jealous and come back to you, but chances are very around like 20-25%, because she might there might be other reasons as well. She's coming back to you, but she might be betrayed by someone else, or then she realizes, oh, that guy never did that to me. Poor guy, why did I do this to you? But it doesn't mean that you have to forget your date in the present. You should find, at that time you should look for your importance, your important things. Like if you think that at that time the present date is more important than the previous date, go for it. Stay blunt at the face. How she'll say, other times she might say, we had a great time, and just because of 1 month of our hatred, 1 month of our fight, you forgot us. What kind of love is this and all? Who started the fight? Initialization. Who started the fight? It's easy, right? If you're a woman, you can take tests. You can go with some other guy. Okay, when you come back, I should accept it. I have my free will too, and I'm having a great time with a new woman. Don't never inform that new woman's name to the old woman name, to the old woman. Okay, have some secrets wherein don't reveal each and everything to anybody, especially to a woman. She'll say, oh, poor guy, poor guy, poor guy. Inside will say, yes, actually he's really an emotional fool. He should think about something else which is much more important. That's what a girl will think. She'll think, arey, poor guy, hey, I know you, don't feel hurt here. Inside she'll think, fool, have some brains here. God, give him some brains. That's what woman will usually think. What do you think, Papa? What do you think? Move on with another woman.
Yeah. Life must go on. Life is
The show should go on.
And till end you have to play the drama in a nice way. So wherever you stuck, you have to get up and move on fully and very reliably. So it is your choice. Either you get up and move on and do the drama perfectly well.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, 8 point, be creative and not destructive of yourself.
8 point is, foolish people commit suicides and don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. Okay, it's just a part of life. It's just because of a lot of chemical reactions that are happening in your body that you're feeling that giving importance to something that might not be a priority at different age, right? If you are a child, your priority might be to eat chocolates, or to make friends. When you are around 10 to 15, you are curious about sex or love, whatever. When you're about 20 to 25 years, you're curious about love. You want to find a match for yourself. Alright? Everything will not go according to your thought process. Life, it has a different script, writer. Okay, so nothing will go according to your thought process. If something doesn't happen, be like a water. The water gets adjusted with this in this glass. Water adjusts itself in the bottle. It's Bruce Lee's policy. Bruce Lee, I've watched a lot of Bruce Lee's videos as well, so he's a very positive man. So water adjusts itself in the well, water adjusts itself in the sea, ocean. So be like water, be flexible. Alright, so never think about committing suicides. Instead of committing suicides, you can think about creative things. You can love your own people, give them more importance. You can change the priority level. You can look for your own growth and development. Till now I'll run women behind a woman. I'll make women run behind me by attaining a particular post. See, have you seen that, Salman Khan? He is quite arrogant to some extent. Sometimes he's quite become quite matured now. But I have seen his arrogance side. He has his arrogance, and he has destroyed a lot of careers as well. But even being like that, okay, he doesn't need to answer to any woman, all right. And there are a lot of women in line, even though he's around 50 to 50, 53 years old, 55 years old. His puberty period is over, poor guy. He might be already married, I don't know, which is like, it might be a secret marriage. That's his personal life. But even woman right now is ready to get married to a guy who's around 50, 55 years old. So that's a plus point for him. I envy him. But it's not because of his looks, right? Even his proposal has been declined. So it's not about his looks. It's not about his you know uh, it's not about his looks. It's not about his arrogance, that what people like, that women like. Woman, along with the style, it looks good when he has achieved something. If he had that arrogance, and he earns around 25,000 a month, will women be mad about this guy? No, because women know that if they marry this guy, okay, he's very careful. He's very careful because he knows after marriage he has to give half of his property to that woman. Okay, even if but that proving a woman wrong is very difficult as well in court nowadays, right? So I'm not saying all women are gold diggers, all right? Some women are, but they look for the positions. Okay, but thinking about by if you think about your position improvement, and you improve yourself by being in a top position, or trying for example being a general manager or CEO of a company, or you starting your own company and being a owner of there, and you're earning the turnover is around like about even 50 lakhs, or even 10 lakhs in a year. You can still at the start even 5 lakhs. Okay, still you started your own, right? So you have the freedom, financial freedom and all. So you can look for that think about creativity. What are the qualities? Analyze your strengths, weakness. This is the at this time you should analyze your strength, your weakness, your opportunities and threats. Okay, so if you have if you analyze your positives and negatives at this time, that's the best thing that you can do. And that will improve yourself, and you have to work towards as well. You have to write down your positives, your negatives according to you. Look, think from a customer's viewpoint. Just imagine that you are not you're someone else, and you see yourself and your arrogance, or sometimes your attitude, your the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you perform. All right, how do you feel? If you feel it's okay, then it's fine. Write down your positives, write down your negatives. Where do you get angry fast? These are the kind of negatives that you can put down, reduce it to some extent. Sometimes because anger will never always destroys. It might destroy your life as well. All right. So at the time, don't think about suicides, because that will not only demotivate, that will devalue your life. For how many days they will think about you? 4 days they will think about you. Right? If you commit suicide and you die, 4 days they will think, everybody, बेचारा प्यार में पड़ गया, बेचारा मर गया. 4 days they will think. 5th day they will carry on with their work. But what you did with your life, nobody will think about it. Well, poor girl, he loved a girl, and and she ditched him. So he committed suicide. Nobody, people will think that you are foolish. Is that what you want to hear after your death? Or what a man. He changed the life of millions. Whatever, he was a true warrior. Is that the word? That's the words that you want to hear at the end. I'm not saying all women are bad. I'm saying because I'm going to I'm going to create a video about women as well. But this is about men, all right? So women nowadays have a lot of power behind them, because even though they are not physically strong, they're emotionally very strong. They have guys supporting them. Those guys might bully you. All right. There are women supporting women. There are women organizations. All right. there are government laws that gives women a favor. Remember previously at the start, 1950s and all, 1960s and all, the laws were in favor of men, and men took advantage of it. Obviously, when the laws are in favor of women, women also take advantage of it to some extent. To some extent, but I'm not supporting it. By doing this, women will prove that what men did in their prime was right. So what I'll request is, this is not this video is not created to go against any gender or anything. But whatever is wrong should be stopped. I will try my best, and I really hope I require your your blessings so that everybody understands it and the world becomes a better place to live in. All right. So don't even think about committing suicides. Just try to improve yourself, develop yourself, develop your attributes.
In life, one has to be very brave. Before taking any decision, you have to think always twice.
Yeah,
Then,
1,000 times.
You should not take any firm decision on the spur of the moment. You have to think twice, and the second thinking or feeling or your this thing will be correct. So always take a deep breath and take a final decision before you before you commit anything wrong. Okay, God bless you.
Thank you so much. This is Rahul Mohanchan, the greatest performer the world has ever seen, and this is my guest, my father. Thank you so much, Papa, for being part of my video. Thank you. Bye bye.